What up? What it do? I'm live from the booth for the Solid World podcast. I am your gracious and often hated host, Saleik Vontrell. This is episode 31. Special guest in the building today, my guy Quant. Quant, how you doing, Brody?
What's up, bro?
Let me shake your hand, man. It's been a minute.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Pleasure to have you, bro. I think today's gonna be a definitely inspirational and motivational episode. One thing about my podcast, what I like to do is bring people on. And I like them to tell their story based off where they came from to how they got to where they at now.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a successful story.
Yeah.
Big in the community, big in the city, big public figure. But before I get into all that, bro, how's life been treating you?
Hey, life's good, man. We working.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm glad to be here, man. I appreciate you inviting me on. You know.
Yes, sir. You know it.
It's been a process, man. We've been talking about this for a minute.
It's
man.
it's definitely been
Yeah.
some years for real. I remember. I think the last time we talked about it, or one of the last times we talked about it, we seen you in
Kickback.
Jacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like 2-3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy because I took a long break. I was just telling you before we started. Took a long break and I didn't want to get back to it because the vision I had for my platform, bro, I didn't necessarily have the resources
Yeah.
until I found this studio with my guy Josh at Synergy, and now like I said, when everybody walk in, they be like, "Yo, this is crazy."
Hey, listen, my boy got a dope setup here,
Yeah,
man.
it's fire.
Like, this is beautiful.
It's
Like,
fire,
this next
bro.
level right here.
Yes, sir, bro. With you, I want to start from the beginning
Mm-hmm.
because I can literally say I've seen you come a long way,
Yeah.
and I'm a lot younger, but I still know all y'all from like when I
Mm-hmm.
was young, just being in the gym,
Mm-hmm.
watching y'all hoop. With your journey, what kind of started your journey like before Born Bosses?
Mm-hmm.
What took you on the right path to get on that right page where it's like, all right, this one I'm starting right here, and I know this is where I want to end up going.
Man, it's crazy because it was one of them things, man. You know, when I was younger, I always had, I don't know where this vision came from. I always thought I would be rich by 25. You know, just being young, naive, and not really knowing much about life. So I always knew I wanted to do great things.
Right.
But I didn't know how. I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I kind of just feeling my way, through life. I got the typical inner city story. You start on some bad stuff. You bump your head a few times, and I caught on real quick that this ain't what I want to do. This ain't it. So I got an older, I call him my brother, a guy that I was just around and he used to throw parties. Marcus Barrett, BSC Entertainment. So just being around him, because I always been a partier. We all go out for the fun of it, but just being up under him, I started seeing the business of it. And he kind of just took me under his wing, and it started with, I jump on fly, help bring some people in till I started understanding. Go in the back room after the party, and I see how it's getting broke down. So it's like, okay, like,
There's some money in this.
there's some money in this.
Yeah.
So and it went from there, and my first thought was putting a label on, what I'm doing.
Facts.
Because it's like everybody would say, well, I'm going to a Quant party. I'm going to some Quant. But, I wanted to put a brand on it and not to get too far. And,
How old were you doing this time period right here?
I was paid, this maybe was 2000, I want to say 13, 14. So I was maybe 24, 25, somewhere around there.
Got you.
Yeah. No, I was maybe like, I was maybe like 23.
Got you. Got you. I know I was too young back then to go to y'all parties, but I would always hear about them. And I heard that was legendary.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Legendary.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Uh-huh.
So, Born Bosses, what was the inspiration behind the title of that?
My pops, man. Ike Jones, rest in peace, Ike Jones.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, it was a saying he would say all the time. Cats have kittens, dogs have puppies, bosses have little bosses. And he would just say born bosses. Like it was
That's
just a
dope.
saying he would say all the time. And we never really thought too much of it. But when it got to where I'm trying to put a name on this thing, because I tell anybody that's the hardest part.
Facts.
You know?
That's facts.
Because people come to me and say, what should I call it?
Yeah.
That's something that got to come to you.
That's facts.
Because once you put it out there, it's like, you know, it's like your name.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
You can't just go back to the hospital and say, oh, I don't like sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, just in the process of really like trying to find a name of it, that saying started ringing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, born bosses. Like, and I could put a meaning behind it. I could put a story behind it.
Right.
We just talked about that.
For sure.
So I thought about it. I slept on it, and then it's like, okay, you know, what can I attach to that as far as like a message?
Mm-hmm.
And it just stood out of all the things I was, you know, thinking of, you know, writing out. Born Bosses just stood out. And then as I started like working it, that was one of the main. No matter how fire a design was, how ugly a design was, everybody was just like, man, that name, like. So,
the name is fire.
Yeah.
And the name really, for me, it speak for itself.
Yeah.
Because before I even thought about asking you, like, where you got it from, how you came up with it, I can say Born Bosses, and I'll be like, okay, that's, in my mind, Born Bosses, that has to mean, like, you know, it's born within you. Like, you was a boss when you first started. Like, you know what I mean?
Deliver the message in itself.
Right,
like,
right. It's a perfect name. I love it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You've been in the game now for a long time as far as, like, just your brand. What year was that you started your brand?
2016.
Yeah. Ooh,
15.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So you coming up on 10 years.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah. you probably never even thought about that.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
You got to celebrate that too, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't last in anything that long.
Yeah.
Anything.
Longevity.
We just celebrated my pop's 25-year anniversary for his company.
That's legendary.
I'm like, it's legendary, bro. Legendary. I feel like in life, especially more than anything, you know, we got to celebrate the big moments that don't happen too often. So yeah, definitely.
What I learned too is small moments too, man.
That absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
You have to. We kind of we overlook that as far as in this journey, entrepreneurship, small wins, man. Like you have to celebrate them. You got to.
I agree.
That's gonna keep the fire under you, man. Like everybody might say, well, all you did was you don't know the journey. Like
that's something I wanted to speak on too because nobody knows the journey that you had to go through to get to where you at. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to harp on that for anybody who may want to start a brand or a clothing line, right? What advice would you have for them for the stuff that you might have went through, and so they hopefully don't have to go through it? But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna have to go through them hardships to get to where they're trying to get to.
The first piece of advice I would say is, man, don't be scared to lose no money.
Facts.
Like you gonna lose money.
Facts.
Bible say spare no expense. Like you know, we got a way of going in our community where we want the best results for the cheapest amount.
Sad to say.
Ain't nothing gonna change your life cheaply. Like, so that's the first piece of advice I would give. You know, don't be scared to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
You got to. Like,
you got to. It take money to make money.
There's no way around it. That's whatever field you in. You know, podcasting, clothing. If you got a service, if you got a product, you know, you got to spend money to make money.
Absolutely.
You're gonna lose some money. Educate yourself.
Facts.
You know, I think that's an aspect of it that people don't understand. You know, the depth you got to go to with it. I'm always educating myself.
Yeah.
You know, I pull up my open apps. I bet your YouTube's up there.
Yeah. You gotta remain a student of the game.
Yeah.
At all times.
You know, I'm not a big fan of the I don't know excuses. I don't. You know, this ain't the 90s or the 80s. You know, we live in an information era where, you know, YouTube University.
Absolutely.
Like
That's where I learned everything from that I'm doing right now. That's where I learned everything from.
YouTube is banned in certain countries.
In fact.
I don't think people understand that. Like, you go to certain countries, YouTube is banned.
Mm-hmm.
That's for a reason. Whatever you want to learn, now it might be, it's saturated, so you got to pick through it, but that's part of the work. So, first tip, don't be scared to invest in yourself. Second, man, you got to educate yourself.
Absolutely.
And it's not a process where, oh, I learned it, I got it. Nah, you got to get back up there tomorrow. You got to get, find different ways.
Yeah, I think a lot of people not struggle, but a lot of people have a problem with being content.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they might find some success and they're like, all right, I'm good right here where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way you can, like, really, really achieve success is if you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we say that in sports, too, you know what I mean? Like, that's the only way you'll achieve more, in my opinion. But that's two great tips for advice, bro, because I know me personally, when I started my photography business, I tell people all the time, for my first year in business, I didn't make no profit.
You ain't gonna make no profit.
And like, I'm like, yo, like, when am I gonna start making this money? But I always knew that it was gonna happen eventually.
You gotta play the long game.
Oh man, like, you put so much money into it, but it's all worth it at the end of the day. Because now I'm like, I'm past that stage, and I see the money come in. It's like, okay, now I see why I did that.
Yeah. And it's we all play sports. You could I tie everything back into sports, man. Like that's like you pick up a ball and you practice for a year straight. Like, you still got work to do.
That's right.
And then the biggest advice: don't compare yourself to nobody. Don't do that. Which camera can I look at?
Right here.
Don't do that. Do not do that. Comparison is a thief of joy. Like, don't do that. And that's something I learned later on, but that's some of the biggest advice I learned, the biggest lesson I learned, because what happens is it's a young guy watching this at this stage with this setup, saying, man, why can't, you don't know what Saleik went through. Like,
that's true.
You don't know what he went through to get here. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when you compare yourself to that, you comparing your end game to somebody's results that they don't work for, and they done lost money, and you don't know how many times Saleik had to figure out if he wanted to do this or eat this day, or like, you just don't do that.
That's a great one right there, bro. That's a great one.
Yeah.
I always say it's enough money and opportunities out here for all of us. It's no need for competition.
Yeah.
We see banks beside each other, McDonald's across the street from each other, speedways right beside each other all the time. Why do we got to compare what we doing to somebody else? It's enough out here for all of us. I pride myself into staying in my own lane. I ain't gonna lie.
You dope at that too, man.
I mean, I don't look at. I mean, I might look at what you're doing, but I don't compare it to nothing I'm doing.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about you, man. Like, you play your lane, and your lane is your lane.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly, bro.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Solid World Entertainment and officially sponsored by Above All Car Service, the best luxury black car service in the ENC. Whether you're looking for private transportation to the airport, weddings, prom nights, date nights, or just luxury private transportation in general, Above All Car Service is the way to go. I'm talking black Escalades, black Cadillacs, you name it, they got it. Above All Car Service gives you the full luxury black car service experience. To book your ride, simply go to rideluxuryservices.com or call 252-830-1090 now. Riding luxury, arriving style. So let's talk about trucking. You're in the trucking, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
Actually, November this month made a year.
Really?
I graduated from trucking school.
Dope. Okay.
Yeah.
So, was trucking school hard?
Yes.
I hear a lot of people say it's not easy at all.
It ain't. Like, I mean, learning anything gonna be hard. Trucking school, the hard part about trucking school is, with any new trade or whatever, people can give you tips and stuff, but that truck, you only learn by being in that truck.
Right.
Can't nobody tell you how to turn that
Facts.
18-wheeler but your practice and failing over and over.
Facts.
So yeah, it was pretty rough, man. It was a couple of days. People were asking me like, "What you gonna do when you graduate?" I'm like, "Man, I just got to get to that." I figured that out. This ain't no guarantee right now.
Right.
Like I just got to get there. Yeah.
I can imagine that I'm sure you probably want like your own trucks or trucks,
Yeah.
like your own trucking company.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine that's
goal.
in there.
That's the goal.
Dope.
Yeah. I always tell people, I don't want to be a trucker, like a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand you got to know how to drive a truck first off, and you got to experience being a trucker. Second off, be in the trucking business.
That's facts.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a coach. You got to play the game to be able to coach the game. You know.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And you're a real estate agent as well. I seen you post the other day that trucking has shown you more real estate opportunities than you would ever thought.
Trucking has showed me kind of like the corners and the spots that I wouldn't necessarily just being on the MLS.
Right. Got you.
Scrolling.
Got you.
It's stuff as because I drive local.
Mm-hmm.
But it showed me areas that might not be on the MLS yet of somebody flipping a house that are a new construction neighborhood because I'm all on these back roads and I get to see more of this geographic driving trucks around here.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you juggle 3, 4, 5 things. Do you find it challenging to multitask and have all these different pockets?
Yeah, it's overwhelming. It can't. Well, I'm not, it can be overwhelming.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. But I never got in this for it to be easy.
Facts.
So I got a great why. Any mentor, any podcast, anything you listen to, they're gonna tell you find your why.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I got a great why, which is my kids.
Absolutely.
My dreams, my vision. So them days I get up, man. It's them days I get up and it feel rough. It feel tough. I don't feel like doing it today. Like I'm human,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Some days I don't feel like doing this today, man.
Oh yeah.
I got a great why, man. And that's it has its days. I ain't even gonna sugarcoat that.
That's how it's gonna be though.
Yeah.
Especially like when as far as entrepreneurship, anyway. What a lot of people don't realize is it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It's hard. You got to kind of keep yourself motivated.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find a way to keep yourself motivated.
Every hour too.
Yeah. How long have you been doing real estate? A couple years now, right?
Yeah. Crazy thing is, November is my anniversary dates for both careers.
Dope.
November 24th, 2020, I got my real estate license. November 11th, 2023, I got my trucker's license.
Dope.
Yeah, so.
How's real estate been?
Real estate is a forever learning trade, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because that market is always moving.
Right.
Real estate don't sleep.
Right.
So I love real estate because of the the ceiling it has on it.
Mm-hmm.
You can make no money 1 month, or you can make 50,000 the next month. You know what I'm saying? That gives you a chance to set yourself up like crazy. And it's flexible to where, of course, I would tell any agent or up and coming agent, anybody looking into it, work it like a 9 to 5. But it gives you that flexibility to really plan some more pockets as far as like, anything else you got going on.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I heard that getting your real estate license is pretty hard.
That's the hardest thing I ever did in my life.
Really?
Ever.
How long did it take you?
Ever. I took the class during the pandemic. So it was, of course, everything was virtual then. It was, I don't remember the times. I know it equals up to 75 course hours.
Got you.
So it was maybe June, July, and then it ended like the week of my birthday, which is August 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the time frame, that was the time frame, maybe 2 months. But what I didn't know about being an agent, because I think I thought I'd just take the class and then you got your license. So
That's what I thought.
nah, it's a little more deeper than that. So you take your what's called a pre-licensing course,
Mm-hmm.
which is just, we like to say that course just tell you not how to get sued. Like,
Okay.
that's the laws and stuff like that.
Right.
And then once you finish that, see, a lot of you might hear people say two aspects of I didn't pass the real estate class, I didn't pass the real estate test.
Facts.
So you had to pass the class to be eligible to take the test.
Got you.
So, but I got one thing I pride myself in. I got crazy study habits.
Mm-hmm.
If I ain't the smartest, I ain't the brightest, I ain't the fastest, I ain't the strongest, but if you give me something to study, I'm gonna study it. I'm gonna put some crazy study habits to it, to where I learn it.
That's dope.
And man, that test, I was It was the pandemic. I was like full-time entrepreneur at that time, so man, I would wake up like 5 in the morning and just like go through my regime as far as studying to like 12 at night.
Mm.
And what people, a lot of mistakes people, I ain't gonna call it a mistake, but a lot of routes people take is, I passed the class, let me take the test fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then you might hear people taking the test. I know people took the test 3-4 times. You pay to take that test.
Yeah, facts.
Like it's not like I pay and then just unlimited attempts. You pay every time you take that test, which I kind of like picked that up early on, so I scheduled my tests further out. That's why you hear me say I finished in August, but I got my license in November.
Got you.
So, I did that routine every day for 3-4 months straight. And
that's tough.
Yeah, like
that's tough. I remember seeing a picture of you that you posted on Facebook. You fell asleep
out,
with the with the notes on your lap. I said, "Yo, bro is working."
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That was motivational for me, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like just to see somebody so determined to get something like that, you falling asleep studying.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
That's dope. I'm the complete opposite. Like when I was in school, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I would study the night before in the morning of.
Mm-hmm.
Like and that hurt. I got my degree, but that hurt me in the long run because when I tried to get in a master's program, I kind of did the same thing, and I failed the test. And like you said, that test costs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I never went back after that. I was like, yeah, that's different, bro. I definitely applaud you on that.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I got a couple real estate questions for you.
Okay.
One being, in your opinion, what do you think the most important skill is for real estate agents?
Communication. Mm-hmm. Communication, definitely, because you can know everything from A to Z, but how do you communicate that with somebody? Like,
Fact.
It ain't what you know; it's what people can listen and what's the word? I lost the word I was looking for. I'm gonna just say comprehend, because people got to be able to really like. Real estate is one of them things. It's so intimidating that people stay away from it if they don't feel they can do it, or if they don't they just stay away from it. So if you can put that message to where people say no. I mean, people listen to you and you tell them, no, it's just this, it's just that, it's just that, and you good. It's I could do that, So communication first off. Thick skin. You got to be able to because you can be working with a client and you could put 10 offers in and they might all get, not get accepted for some reason.
Yeah.
You got to have thick skin. And one of the main things about real estate, you got to enjoy helping other people.
True. That makes sense.
That was something I didn't know starting out. I was just trying to get some money.
Yeah.
And it's not going to work like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to enjoy driving people around, helping them look at houses, explain why this toilet is different from that toilet. Like,
yeah.
You gotta have some type of love for helping people. You ain't gotta necessarily just be awful, but you got to enjoy that to a certain aspect, you know. And yeah, those two main things.
Dope.
Yeah.
Common mistakes first time buyers make.
I would say I get a lot of credit questions. And a lot of people say, well, I'm gonna do this, and then I'll try to I always tell them, talk to a mortgage, a loan officer first. You know, a common mistake some people make, they think they gotta pay everything off the credit or whatever, and that's not necessarily the case sometimes. You will hear, I don't know if you see any, I'm in a lot of real estate groups, so I see the memes, like, talk to a mortgage broker. Like, that's, people think, like, as a real estate agent, well, not think, they don't understand that there's different players on your team when you're buying a house. So they might be asking you credit questions, loan questions, like this question.
Yeah.
I can help you buy a house, like negotiate this contract for you.
Right.
You know, I can tell you the market. I can't tell you everything about loans.
Right.
I'm not a loan officer. You know, this is what they went to school for. This is what they do.
That makes sense, because I know me personally, I would probably be the same way if I was coming to you trying to buy a house. I would have 100 questions for you.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. But, you know, and I always explain, you know, the main thing I'm gonna do as your agent is assemble a team for you.
Facts.
You know, and sometimes as you having that relationship with me, you might don't feel as comfortable talking to the loan officer. But I always tell them, just be straightforward, because they're gonna find out. You know, you got a car payment that you don't really want to talk about. They're gonna see it. You know, just talk to them like you would talk to me. You know, you don't have to hide nothing. A lot of people don't understand. None of us get paid up front.
Facts.
You know, you don't have to pay to talk to me. You don't have to pay to talk to a loan officer. Like, it's a conversation. Hey, what I need to do, you know? This is what I'm thinking about. This is what I want. This is what I got going on. Like, what I need to do. And people don't understand that a great loan officer, they can make or break a deal. I said, as far as, like, communication as an agent, as a loan officer, because those are the hard ones, to get on the phone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So just a loan officer that knows how to communicate, man, they will make your buying process, like, you sleep well at night.
10 times easier.
Yeah. Also, a lot of things I tell first-time home buyers, save. You know, you got to go. You trying to get a house.
Right.
Save some money.
Right.
You know, you got to have some money to buy a house. You don't have to have as much money as you think, but you got to have some money, you know, saved up to buy a house. And a lot of first-time home buyers, they don't understand what debt the income ratio is. You know, they just think, what's my credit got to be? You know, you might have great credit, but if you got 3 car payments and, you know, this, you know, that's the thing. You got some people with a 700 credit score, but they're paying out so much money. They can't get qualified.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I had somebody tell me the other day, like, when it comes to buying a house, you don't want to owe anything to anybody. Is that true?
That's right. That's debt to income.
Fast. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah, so they look at this ratio that's called a debt to income ratio. So they look at how much debt you got and how much income you got. So basically what you paying out and what you bringing in.
Right.
If that ratio is too high, you know, they won't be able to work with it to a certain extent. So
even if you got a good credit score.
Yeah, that, you know, credit is just basically how good at you at paying people their money back. That's what I tell a credit score is.
Facts.
You know, like, if we give you some money, will you pay it back?
Right.
That's what a credit score is. A debt to income ratio is basically You making the money, you good at paying the money back, but you paying so many people back right now.
Yeah.
Where do we fit in as this mortgage as this mortgage loan? So yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
In your opinion, in today's time, 2024, right now,
Mm-hmm.
today, do you think it's better to rent or buy?
I think that's situational. And if you notice, I kind of stay away from that topic.
Mm-hmm.
I started out in my first couple of years doing that type of
Mm-hmm.
marketing. This is why you should rent. This is why you should own. But
Facts.
our culture that they listen with such an emotional ear that it's like, well, what's wrong with rent? Like,
Yeah.
well, so I just stay away from that. Like, so I would say, just generally speaking, it's whatever fits your situation.
Yeah, situation.
It's kind of like the 50-50 argument in
Mm-hmm.
relationships. If that works for y'all, that's good. Like, so,
Yeah, for sure.
you know, so it depends on your situation. It depends on your long game, where you see yourself 5 years from now. Yeah, that's about the most I'll say on that.
I got you.
Buying does have its pros and its cons. Renting does have its pros and its cons.
Right.
You know, I see the debates and stuff where, well, I can call a maintenance man. You got to do that out of pocket and stuff. So, sometimes I want to chime in, but it's best to just,
Stay out of that,
let
yeah.
them figure it out.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I would probably be the same way if I was you.
Yeah, because it can be taken out of context. You gotta choose every word.
Facts.
Now, if you come to me as far as like and ask, I will help. I would chime in on that. But yeah, I would just say it depends on your situation. Yeah.
I got you. For anyone who may want to get into real estate, get a real estate license, I'm sure some advice you would have for them would be to definitely study.
Just study.
Like you said, knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power.
I had somebody. No, I'll let you frame your question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good.
Okay.
You good.
Yeah. I had somebody reach out to me and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about taking the class." It was like, if I somehow, how did she frame the question? Can you do the classwork for me, and I just take the test? I was like, man, you done messed up already. Like,
Yeah.
like you about to just be donating money for that test.
Facts. How would you even know? Nah, that's crazy.
And it's not one of them tests. So as far as like advice on, I'm sorry, where were you going with the question?
So basically, I was gonna say, what advice would you have for anyone that's wanting to get into it, possibly?
Okay.
Whether it's debt or I know a lot of people are in the wholesaling now, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna go with it. Find out what lane you want to get in as far as in real estate. So
Right.
it's a lot of ways to make money in real estate, to where getting a real estate license might not be what you want to do. Like you said, there's wholesaling, there's fix and flip, there's agency, there's buy and hold, there's property management. So yeah, just I guess find out exactly what you want to do. Agency is more like the what's the word? I want to say mainstream, but I don't think that really fit. Agency is more so the taking the pictures and suits and the closing days.
Gotcha.
And if you want to live in that light of it, it's like I said, helping others
Right.
buy homes, wholesaling. You want me to explain? Go in that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
For
okay.
the people who don't know.
Yeah, so if you don't know, wholesaling is basically you're getting a property under contract for the right price, and you're initially selling your contract to an end buyer. So say you got a property. Say you're an investor. This is what you do. You looking for deals. You just finding properties, finding good deals. You recognize their pain points. Some people, they got elders in their family, grandma something left them a house. they already going through with their own stuff. They can't afford to keep up this house and, pay the taxes on it or something. So they just say, hey, man, my grandma left me this house. I can't really afford it. It needs some work. I don't have the money to do the repairs or whatever. So you just find out, what's going on in their situation. You get the property. That's what they would call a distress, as far as like physical or the, whatever's going on with the property. And you just get it under a price that works for you. Say, just keep the numbers easy. Okay, well, for you to walk away from the property, I give you $10,000 for the property, $20,000, $30,000, whatever. Just keep the numbers easy. Hey, okay, I give you $10,000 for this property. Give me 30 days, I get the money to you.
Right.
You're an investor. This is what you do. You look for deals. You find properties. You got the bag to do it. Hey, Saleik, I got this property for $25,000. Such. And then you basically, I'm assigning my contract to you, selling my contract to you.
To me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got it for 10. I told you I got a property for 25. All you know is I got a property.
Right.
You don't know what's going on over there.
Right.
And then you work that way. Fix and flip. Kind of finding a property, same situation. Finding a property for the right price. You fix it up and then you sell it for retail market. So say you got a distressed property or whatever, you get it, you purchase that property, you do the repairs or whatever, get it to retail, and then you sell that property and you get your bread from the middle of that.
Gotcha.
Buy and hold is basically people that buy properties, hold out on it, whatever they, for whatever reason, they might want to rent it out, wait till the market go up in their area or something. But yeah, it's different avenues in real estate, to where you ain't just got to go to real estate school, do all that stressing,
right?
Real estate license.
I was just about to say that, because all the things that we just discussed right then, you don't necessarily have to have the real estate license for.
No, fix and flipping, buying, holding. Well, I don't know much about buying, holding to say, but no. Like wholesaling, you definitely don't. In North Carolina, you just need a property to represent someone else.
Gotcha.
As long as I'm a party to the contract, you don't need a real estate license.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense. So if you're listening, there's multiple avenues that you can go to within the real estate field. That's dope.
Man. Wholesaling is you got some wholesalers make more money than agents.
Right. That's what I heard.
Yeah, because they're more aggressive in the market and distressed properties. Most agents are working with turnkey properties. Turnkey means you can go in there, and it's set up already.
Everything
in place. Distressed properties, that's more so stressed.
Right. That makes sense.
So yeah.
That makes sense. What's next for you, bro? I know you got Born Bosses. You in the trucking now. Real estate is doing good. What's next for you?
Man, I want to elevate those things. I think moving forward, those are going to be my foundations. Real estate and trucking. I'm looking to soon. I've been having conversations. I'm gonna come back be more active as far as with my clothing line and stuff.
Absolutely.
So yeah. Something about me wants to get into tech. I don't know where.
Really?
Yeah. But I want to get into tech. I ain't really learned my entry point yet. But I'm coming in that tech space. I really want to present opportunities for people behind me or coming behind me in the city.
Dope.
That's one of my main passions. That's really why I stress myself out learning these new trades. I got a son. He'll be 15 next month. He's coming up on that age to where it's crossroad where I'm going with life. So, I just want to have some stuff laid out to him. Hey, this what, if you're thinking this, I took those steps for you. If you want to go this lane, or if not, you want to find your own lane. So, yeah, just opening more doors in what I got going on already. That's one of the main things.
Dope. Love to hear it, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, I definitely appreciate you for coming on, man.
Of course, man.
I know that people watching learn
Yeah.
from this episode because I learned just sitting here talking to you today. I learned a lot. I ain't know nothing about real estate. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's still a lot to learn, man.
Absolutely.
YouTube University, man. Whatever you want to
Absolutely.
learn, you can find it out there, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, man, it's a Solid World podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode. Quant, again, appreciate you, dog. We got to do this again for sure.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
Hey, I think you should do your own podcast one day. I'm going to throw that out there.
Yeah, man.
I'm just going to put it out there in your ear. You know what I mean?
Man. Maybe you teach me some things, man. We'll figure it out, man.
I got you, bro.
Solid World born bosses.
Yes, sir, for sure. Appreciate you.
Of course,
It's a Solid World podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode. We out.